all the hype surrounding Marvel has been already pretty crazy as it is, right? So I wanted to take a look at what they have here on the YouTube here. They have the Fighting Souls from Japan to the world. I'm definitely curious to see a little bit more. When I was watching it initially, with my initial reaction, I was just like, what? Losing my marbles. But now that I've kind of, had a moment to kind of chill, process it all, that this is actually real, I want to actually like take a look and see a bit more in terms of like what's going on here. So 6 minutes, let's see what's popping here and see what they got to say here about Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Yokohama. Hopefully we'll get killed by the music.
プレイステーションの友人から急になんか飲みに行こうぜっていう連絡が来て、なんのこっちゃと思って、予定合わせて行ったんですけど、ちょっと飲んでる中で実はアクの方でマーベルの格闘ゲームを作ってみないかというような提案をいただきまして。いや本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。で、世界的に本当に有名な IP ですし光栄だなと思いつつも、まず本当にうちの会社で大丈夫かなという不安もあり。
This game is so far looking, man.
The inspiration for working on this project really came from a place of pure fandom and wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation in this space?
So PlayStation approached us with this vision to bring Marvel back to the forefront of the tag fighting genre. And that got us really excited because we had worked with them before on successful stuff like the Marvel Spider-Man franchise with Insomniac.
When it came to approaching Marvel, you have to kind of first float the idea and let them know, hey, we're thinking about approaching a company like Arc System Works to make a fighting game. We'd love to partner with you to do this really great collaboration. Would you be interested?
When they named the developer, that really perked up our ears. It's always refreshing to work with a team that will take on the challenge of tackling Marvel, putting their own spin on it, and they're just uppercutting that challenge into the stratosphere. And that's what you get with this team. I mean, they couldn't make something boring if they tried.
社長からも本当に作れるんだったらぜひやりたいねっていうことを言われました。話を受けてしまった以上これは私がプロデューサーなのかなっていうところで。
The tricky thing is that most fans, including myself, see this as a sacred genre for Marvel. The tough part is finding a partner that's crazy enough to take on the task, because you either do something like this big and bold or you don't do it at all.
I feel like I have a good grasp on their art style and how they would approach certain IPs. You come in with your kind of own expectations of, here's what I would expect to see from Arc System Works when they take on a Marvel IP. And what came up was something that went beyond that.
一番最初にマーベルさんに提出した時はなんとなくマイケルさんの反応はあんまり芳しくなかった印象があって、何がまずいのかなっていろいろこうやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアートのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって。
I remember personally the first time I saw Iron Man was really when I felt we had something special.
なので今回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧いただければ分かると思うんですけども、かなりこう日本らしいアークシステムワークスらしいデザインっていうのが出ているかなと思うので、マーベルの皆さんの反応がすごく良くて、あ、これなんだみたいないう感じで。
Iron Man is supposed to be the sleek fighter jet, think luxury race car mixed with a brick house. And the fact that they added anime mech elements to him just felt really naturally at home.
Right.
One of the mantras that we have for this project is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the IP, but gameplay mechanics, and say, what can we really take from Japan, the creators that are doing awesome work here, and bring that to the global platform.
まあ特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、まあ本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で挑戦的なところだというところと。
When ARC looks at these Marvel characters, it's not simply just the visuals, it's also the gameplay mechanics and adding in that, what is that pop? What is going to be something that's different? Up until now, you've seen tag fighters that have 2v2, 3v3. We felt like we just had to go 4v4. And in doing so, we found a lot of unique and fun ways to change up the gameplay that I think players are going to be very excited to see.
今回4対4という、革新的なところにチャレンジしている中で4キャラクター練習しないと勝てないんじゃないかと安心してください。
Learning 4 characters is extremely daunting, but the team at Arc System Works has found a way to design a system that adapts to your playstyle. So you could either duke it out as just the leader and 3 assists, or you can tag in your assists to swap the leader and change the matchup on the fly.
I don't think a lot of people thought this day would be here, would come. You know, this has just been an awesome journey, and I'm excited that we get to be able to share it with all the fans out there.
I'll tell you right now, a lot of fighting games, they never get to experience this level of production, and it's just a dream to even be working with these two great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて。
So, funny thing, real quick. What's going on? Just appreciate the raid. What's going on, Raiders? This dude right here. He's a well-known Faust player in OG Guilty Gear. Actually, a personal friend, low-key, of mine. It's interesting watching him now go from player to developer, and I was there for him being in the development, portion, because for what it's worth, he helped design and create Hazama, Tsubaki, Makoto, and a few other characters in BlazBlue. Hence, he's battle director. Like, he's earned his keep. He also designed Elfelt, my arch nemesis in Guilty Gear, Xrd. But even though that may be the case, like, I think looking at this game, it looked like they were touching base with older Arxis, and I think that that's fine. And by older Arxis, I mean like the mobility and stuff like that, because I felt like Strive was kind of missing that, and it makes sense for a Marvel game to have crazy movement and stuff like that, because I feel like the Guilty Gear formula was already good, and for me personally, I've always wondered what that would look like on another IP. Granted, we've seen it with Dragon Ball, but there's still some restrictions here and there. So now that they have essentially full control, I'm very curious what he's finna do, because for what it's worth, he did work on Xrd, and that was his first big project, I want to say, like as like battle director / producer or whatever. And like, I mean, it's still one of my favorite fighting games to this day, Guilty Gear Xrd. I believe he also went to work with the Grand Blue team, I believe, as well. But regardless, I actually trust this guy. I know Katano and Ken, they're still kind of, they've been doing their thing with Guilty Gear and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm actually glad to see him here. Like, I'm so glad to see him here. This leads me, and I don't know. I'll just put it to you like this. Even though it took him a minute to nerf Elfelt, I have a lot of faith in this man. Like I said, I actually know him personally. Like, I have a lot of faith in him. I'm not gonna sit here and say some crazy wild stuff like he's gonna save the genre or whatever, but like, you have to think about it from the standpoint of like, they put him here, and if he's the battle director of this game's finna be fun. This game's finna be wild. It's finna be wild. And I think he's like the right person for this. He really is. I'm not saying that to Glaze because he's like a personal friend or anything like that. But I'm saying that because like, he's more than earned his keep to be here. And like, I can say with certainty that I think he'll do a great job. I'll only say there might be some characters that might be very problematic. I hope that there isn't any major bias towards a balance, but like I just wanted to say for sure, you know, I really wanted to fit this in this video because like I guess to me it means a lot because I know him personally and just seeing like how far he's come as a player, from player to game developer, actually from player to he worked with I believe it was Arcadia magazine back in the day as a writer for a little bit. So from player to writer to game developer to battle director now after being on several projects over the years, it's like this is pretty fire. So none of his designs on his characters have ever been boring. You know, from Hazama, Elfeld, Tsubaki, Makoto, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those BlazBlue characters are pretty fire to play. So I have no doubt in my mind, like the vision he has is gonna be great. And we're already seeing stuff like air combos. I know I'm kind of going off right here and the video's about to be done, but it's just there's gonna be a lot of things that might be reminiscent of Guilty Gear, or just rather that old school Arc Sys flair, while introducing some newer elements to make it more quote unquote modern. So like, yeah, I have a lot of faith. I get it. Don't put super duper blind faith into it. I feel you. It's just, I guess the best way to say it is just I feel more comfortable knowing that Pachi is here. Right? I'm not looking at like a new team trying to get off the ground. I'm looking at someone that's already done work in the field, has made a good game, has helped make, you know, great, cool, fun characters that can do a lot of cool, great shit. So I have no doubt in my mind, like he's gonna do something great here. Like no joke. I can see it. I can see it. So I'm excited.
Working with these two great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて、それぞれの強い思いの中でこのタイトルを成功させよう、いいゲームにしてファンに届けようと。
The three companies have come together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね、まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。Stay tuned.
And the crazy part is, like, it's gonna have. Oh man, it's gonna sound wild here, but I know the game's gonna have like, just man, it's gonna have the Arc Sys flair. It's gonna have the Arc Sys music. It's gonna have like the rock music. You already can tell already. The music already sounds good. Like, and that's just a small little glimpse. 3 companies coming together to make a Marvel game is insane. That's all I'm gonna say. But I also want to get through one other thing, which is the PlayStation blog. So we're gonna do that next. Kind of just compile all this into one. So I gotta do separate videos and have you guys going and divide it in between a bunch of different things. So I do have that right here. All right, so we got the PlayStation blog. I definitely want to check this out real quick and see what's happening here. PlayStation Studios, Arc System Works, and Marvel Games have joined forces to realize the latest in tag fighting games. Obviously the name of the game, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, and heart-pounding soundtrack, of course, as Arc Sys. Intuitive gameplay mechanics and jaw-dropping visuals, which we already know. Arc Sys just cooks when it comes to visuals, so nothing to really say there. Arc has incorporated gameplay controls and mechanics that are easy to pick up and play, and yet still offer depth and versatility for high-level competition. That's me, and maybe some of you guys watching. But from the beginning, we aim to make Marvel Fighting Souls a title that could be enjoyed by a wide variety of players, explains game director and lead battle designer Kazuto Skene. Big Pachi. Hopefully I didn't butcher your last name too bad, Pachi. Sakine. I believe it's like that. Sakine. Generally, a team versus fighting game requires a player to learn multiple characters, but for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, you only need to master one character in order to play the game. We've designed the mechanics in such a way that you can perform a variety of actions with either traditional fighting game inputs or simple inputs. So probably something closer to like Grand Blue or even what's that game? What's the other one called again? Grand Blue, DNF Duel. There you go. Which I think he also was on development for that too, I want to say. But that's cool. With the press of a few buttons, multiple characters can appear on screen to provide backup or attack together, creating a new and exciting team versus battle experience. 4-on-4 is already pretty crazy. Since day one, our longtime and trusted collaborators at PlayStation and the team at Arc System Works have poured an incredible amount of talent and passion into reimagining the Marvel Universe in a way that only they can, said Michael Francisco. Senior product, I'm so excited, I'm sorry you guys. Senior product development manager of Marvel Games. Let's see, Fighting Souls demonstrates that they are absolute masters of their craft and are true Marvel fans at heart. Players are in for a wild ride. Of course, characters, ooh. We all want our characters. Let's see here. Another favorite, our iconic Marvel heroes and villains such as Cap, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Spooderman, Doctor Doom, Storm, Miss Marvel, Kamala, Star-Lord, and Ghost Rider. Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, of course. Each with Arc's unique twists on their character designs and gameplay styles, of course. Art producer Takashi Yamanaka states there are so many amazing Marvel characters that it was quite a struggle to choose our roster. But we did have some criteria for the selection process. First and foremost, we wanted to include characters who we feel to be the face of Marvel. Cool, so some mainstays, obviously. At the same time, we also needed to select characters that would give us a balance of battle types and styles. Lastly, we wanted to sprinkle in a few surprises and leave room for characters who have never been playable in a fighting game before. Daredevil, please! Make it happen. Yamanaka-san continues. Early on in the project, we experimented with a shader to recreate a more Western comic book visual style, but the Marvel team expressed a desire for us to lean into something more Arc-like. It was gonna look like Marvel 3. Oh man, I'm sure someone will probably mod it later on PC. It was then that we switched our approach to the game's visuals and began to lean more into Japanimation art style. The Japanimation I cannot talk. The Japanimation style Arc is known for. Sorry, Arc's a style. Whatever. Cool. Gameplay of mechanics. Sorry, I'm just excited for this. I'm fumbling because I'm just so excited. Okay, from short range jabs to the cinematic ultimate skills, each character features a bespoke set of normal, specials, and unique attacks inspired by their abilities and powers in Marvel lore. Arc have gone to great lengths to ensure that gameplay style, movement, and feel of these legendary characters is fresh, new, and wholly unique to Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. But it's not just the individual gameplay of the characters that has been enhanced. Significant dedication has gone into reimagining and redefining what it means to be a tag team fighter. Team versus fighting games have a long tradition of 2v2 or 3v3 team formats. So this is something we discussed in depth within the development team. We went back and forth many times from thinking we might be better off making a 1v1 game or sticking to the established 3v3 format. Pachi continues, at its core, we felt that the appeal of team versus fighting games is the intensity of battles with multiple characters on screen at once. Additionally, one of the appeals of Marvel Comics is seeing the vast cast of characters coming together to create all kinds of unique team-ups. That is true. That is true. With these two ideas in mind, we concluded that creating a 4v4 team versus system would be the best way to not only create those over-the-top moments, but to further evolve the tag fighting genre. Typical of Arc to always try to push the envelope, right? Stages. The stages come to life, filled with Easter eggs for eagle-eyed fans to find. Most stages also feature multiple areas. These transitions between areas are not just action-packed and stunning to witness, but they also play a strategic role. Check out the screenshots from the New York stage to see what you can find. Bruh. Peak. It's just peak. I don't know what to say. Like, peak. There's nothing that can be improved upon. But I think they're on the right track, and I think this is a good idea to try to change up this style of game. Because I feel like for the longest time we've just been playing either 2v2 or 3v3 fighter, and with the most recent Hunter x Hunter 3v3, 2xKO clearly 2v2. So it's like, this is a new way to play while still adding, you add another character in there to like balance it out, I guess, if you will. I mean, 4-on-4 sounds crazy, but I think that's the magic of it, right? Like, these games are meant to be wild. And I think, again, this is why I say I trust Pachi on it, because he understands, this is what needs to be done. Like, for people to appreciate Marvel, there needs to be a lot of over-the-top, just Michael Bay explosions and crazy action, sick cinematics, great color, just all of that. And I think this is their biggest break. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, like, this is finna do wonders for Arc Systems. Like, never in my wildest dreams as an Arc Sys fan, would I've ever guessed they would ever get a collab with Marvel. PlayStation, okay, that's kind of obvious, but Marvel? Like, who would have guessed that, of all things? Like, Marvel? So to me, this game's even more special than, Guilty Gear, if you ask me. I understand Guilty Gears will put them in the forefront, but like, it doesn't just start and stop there. Like, now that they have this under their belt, this is probably, I'm not gonna hold you, I think Arc Sys has just solidified themselves with this title. With this title, they've just solidified themselves. Like, they're not gonna be a mid-sized company anymore after this. I don't think so. This project allows Arc Sys to expand as a developer and as a company as a whole. You know what I mean? So like, I'm hoping for like the best with it. I know it's not like, I know maybe for some, even myself included, like it does hurt a little bit that I'm looking for classic Guilty Gear, and like the classic Guilty Gear might end up being here, which isn't a bad thing. If it's stuck on the Marvel characters for this game, I'm okay with it. As long as they keep introducing characters and things like that, they can go nuts. It'll be great to play. Like, it's not like the Marvel universe is stuck, within just the MCU's characters. There's so many like side characters, important characters. It's just, Marvel just has way too many characters they can pull from. And furthermore, what makes this title even more impressive is that they already have included X-Men characters. So the fact that they touched like Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Miss Marvel, and X-Men, and even freaking Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, obviously. They touched a lot of different Marvel IPs already with this roster, and they're already showing you that they can create characters. Like, if you want my honest opinion, some of the designs here are probably already in Strive, and they're just like making them, after testing them out in Strive and seeing what they're able to do there, probably just put them here. Damn. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. This really is Arc Sys' biggest break. This game, it just can't flop. I don't think that it will. I think that they've already cooked with Strive. Right? Even if it's not like my favorite Guilty Gear, to say that it didn't sell well would be wrong. To say it's not doing well would be wrong. Like, yeah, it's crazy. They went from anime fighting and developers to now to Marvel. It's like, I don't know, man. They got it. Like, it's a big, honor to even touch these characters, even in this capacity. So I'm ecstatic, mostly because this is some stuff that I've talked about years ago. Like, it'd be so cool if they did it. And this was back during the Xrd days. But man, it'd be so cool if they did like a Marvel game or a JoJo's or some other IP that wasn't Guilty Gear. And like, here they are. They did Fighters. They did DNF Duel. You know, and here they are now on Marvel. That's crazy. Oh, it's so crazy. Well, regardless, let me stop because I can go on and on. I'm still somewhat fanboying here, but I'll just say I'm hoping for the best for this title. I really am hoping for the best because ArcSys needs this, and I think the players who enjoy their games need this, and those that don't know that much about their games can come over here and play this game and realize that like you can put this company on anything. Like on the cool, you can outsource anything to ArcSys and they'll probably do a bang up job. So I hope to see this remain a thing. We're gonna be in for a wild ride, man. But with that being said, let me stop. Like I said, I can go on and on all day. But talk to me in the comments below how you guys feeling about the game. What's going on? Just say something. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. Deuces gooses.